I'm going to bring my guest in today. So this is a progressive and an activist, and she's running for mayor out in Portland. Please welcome to the show, Sarah Iannarone. Sarah, how are you?
How are you? It's good to be here. And yes, I am a progressive. They call you an activist when you're a progressive that they don't want to see in office. You don't get to be your profession, right? We're
That's
always
true.
activists when we're working on things like social justice and climate change.
That's the truth. That's the truth. But you've been on the ground a lot too in Portland as well.
Of
So
necessity, though. I mean, look at it. How are you feeling about what's going on here? I mean, I'm out there with the deans of colleges and teachers, and we've got the wall of vets and the wall of moms. I mean, just about every single Portlander that I can think of, with few exceptions, is mobilized against hatred, bigotry, and really working in support of Black Lives Matter, regardless of their specific approach to the topic. So this is a
sure.
pretty exciting, if highly contentious time in our city.
Yeah. Well, it's it's quite a contentious time everywhere. It's just, yeah. You're like, well, how are you feeling about all this? Like, I wonder what it's like for people that wake up and just go, everything's fine.
Who is anybody doing that right now?
I don't know. I mean, I'm curious to find them.
Yeah, it's definitely not in ours. I mean, my team, we started campaigning last year. And then right when we were getting ready to deploy our ground game, knocking on about 30,000 doors, we were leading on shelter in place orders due to COVID, just because we were heeding the science, right? So we had to pivot our entire campaign to all virtual. And then on top of that, in the general election now, you have this civil rights uprising in which we have half of our team stays up half the night watching the protests via whatever live stream, and a good portion of them are out there. A lot of my staff have to schedule around their protest duty. We have a stash of tear gas masks and safety goggles and safety helmets and arm pads in the office, along with saline and eye wipes. It's just this most bizarre reality right now.
Wasn't that incredible that that's like considered campaign gear? You know, where it's just like, instead of just a clipboard and some signs, you're like, get the tear gas mask and get the arm pads and I mean, what a time we're living in.
This is why. So I don't know who's sleeping normally or doing business normally. Business as usual is gone. And here we are.
Are you having this thing? And we're going to talk more about Portland, in the second part of the interview. First, we're going to go over a couple stories of the day that I wanted to share with you. I always kind of compile stories that I think are applicable to my guests. So I've picked out a couple for you that I thought you would like. And then we're going to talk specifically about Portland and about your campaign. But let me ask you this real quick before we jump into news. When you wake up now in the morning, are you just up?
Sleep is elusive when you're campaigning the way that I'm campaigning. So yeah, we stay up as late as we can every night, working as hard as we can, and then we get up as early as we can every single day. And I have to force myself and my team to take time off, actually, for our health, our physical and mental health, making sure people are taking at least half days off and full days off periodically for self-care. But yeah, I mean, every day there's only so many hours of the day and there's so much work to do. I have to reach hundreds of thousands of voters who've not yet heard my name, but who have intense dissatisfaction with the status quo, and figure out a way to communicate with them that investing in a progressive future, investing in a Green New Deal, divesting from militarization is actually the safe bet. There's not a lot of narrative around there that these transformative policies are actually truly the safe option, right? So getting that message out in the next whatever 90, I think it's less than 90 days now, is my greatest challenge.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your